So, pleasant good afternoon and welcome to the BNOC ground for this qualifier number 2 in the Yamaha Sport and Services over 50s cricket competition here in beautiful Barbados. Welcome to the stream on Anything Cricket. Let's talk. Big game brings together the only two teams that would have ever won this tournament. The Lamers up against the Veterans. Joining you with the news that the Lamers have won the toss, and without a shadow of a doubt, they've decided they would take first knock. Quickly, I'll endeavor to run through the two teams for you. Keith Seal, captain of the Lamers. He has with him Victor Patrick, Gregory Gaskin, Ken Mears, Adrian Braffett, Durbin Thompson, Dave Estwick, Dave Clark, Len Gill, Winston Giddens, and Paul Jones. And in the Veterans lineup, a team really strong. Brian Johnson, Anthony Morris, Ron Bates, Ian Drakes, Raymond O'Geese, Pedro Agard, Winston Warren, Leon Lane, Orion Boston, Alan Young, and Jeffrey Lafont. As the opening batsman in Gregory Gaskin. And he's going to be partnered by it looks like Ken Mears at the top of the order. So Gaskin and Mears at the top of the order for the Lamers side. Team captained by Keith Seal. And Ian Drakes, one of the tournament's overall leading wicket takers, 44 wickets in 5 years, will start the attack from the northern end of the ground. Starts waywardly with a wide, and the Lamers are off and running. One without loss. Start of over number 1, ball by the left arm spin of Ian Drakes. Delivery down the leg side again. This time the batsman coming inside his line and trying to turn this one into the onside, and there is no run as the tournament's leading run scorer and Ron Bates does the fielding up backward square leg. Ron Bates with 251 runs. Flighted delivery coming onto the front foot, plays it into the onside, and Winston Warren is at home, and yet again there is no run. Delivery given generous air outside the off stump. And there was the batsman attempting to drive through the offside. The ball finding the inside portion of the bat. The keeper from behind the stumps does the tidy end up. And yet again, it's been no run. So it's been a good comeback by Drakes after that wayward first delivery. Flighted delivery driven through the offside. Morris comes off the sweeper boundary, does the fielding. So the score doubled. Quickly up to 2. We're over number 1. Still being bowled by Ian Drakes. One legal delivery remains. Delivery punched into the offside by Mears. Morris, the captain, was quickly in, beating lane to his left, but Morris scooping in rather quickly, and the batsman at the non-striker's end clearly indicating he had no interest in that single. So the end of a fairly decent over delivered by the left arm spin of Ian Drakes. The Lamers team, remember, they won the toss in this all-important qualifier number 2. Decided to bat first. They're 2 without loss. So it's going to be trial by spin as the off spinning Anthony Morris will pick up the attack from the sovereign end. Starts with the delivery outside the off stump. There's the batsman attempting the cut. Ball goes through to be taken by the keeper A guard. Morris again outside the off stump. This time Gaskin good enough to just guide it down to that man at the third man region. And he gets a single as he score up to 3. Gaskin is on 2. Mears, who's yet to open his account, will come back in the strike. Delivery outside the off stump, punch into the offside, and the fleet-footed Orion Bostic comes around to his right rather quickly. Does the fielding, and yet again, there is no run. Mears none from 3 deliveries. Starting to look a bit anxious as the delivery is beating him. In fact, coming forward to this one. Plays it back to the bowler. Beaten in the flight, but good enough to adjust and get it back to the bowler. Yet again, being brought onto that front foot. And yet again, there's no run. A delivery turned to the backward square leg region to close out over number 2. And at the end of over number 2, the Lamers team, remember they won the toss and decided to take first knock. They are 3 without loss.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-2109.
Drakes to continue the flighted deliveries driven through the offside quite pleasantly. They've gone for 1. Should run fairly close to the boundary. But a good chase by the man coming around from long off. And the batsman have had enough time. Looks like Rouse doing that chase, Young doing that chase. And the batsman had enough time to complete 2 runs. As another tight delivery on our boat that All-Star by Ian Drakes. He's really been very, very economical throughout this tournament, this year's edition of the tournament. He didn't really pick up a lot of wickets, but he's been keeping things really, really tight. Balls of deliveries being driven down the ground, but there's a fielder in Orgis at home at Long On. And yet again, Mears gets a single. And the score, with that single, goes up to 7 without loss. We're in over number 3, so it's been a relatively slow start by the Lamers team. Quicker delivery by Drakes, which is bringing Gaskin onto the front foot quite hurriedly. And there's no run as the bowler is follow through. Does he feel it? Flighted delivery right into the block hole, and Gaskin good enough to dig it out. Back to the bowler. 7 without loss. Drakes continues to bowl rather tightly on our boat that off stump. Flighted delivery outside the off stump, driven to the man at mid-off, who goes around to his left in Young. Does the feeling eventually at the end, and the batsman have enough time to complete the singles at the end of over number 3. Another tight, decent over delivered there by Ian Drakes. The Lamers team 8 without loss. short, fine leg. The fielder from backward square has to come around to his right. Does he feel and there's one more to the score? 9 without loss. Gaskin is up to 4. Mears, who's also got 4, comes in and strike. Gets a short delivery outside the off stump, punches it into the offside. We're very fleet-footed. Orion Bostic once again gets in the way, and there's no run. Flighted delivery by Morris. This time Bostic has to come around to his right, and yet again the result still the same. No run so far in this inning. So far we've already had 14 dot deliveries. Delivery which is being swung down to backward square. They should ease some of those dot deliveries. They've gone for 1. They will come back quite easily for the second run as the underarm throw by Rouse is up to the keeper's end, and the batsman have enough time to complete 2 runs. Takes the score up to 11, so breaking that sequence of dot balls with a double. Mears, he's up to 6. Delivery which is bowling Mears all ends up. Baton pad close together, but what I can tell you, he left the gate as Broad Street, and he was bowled through that gate. So the Limers in early trouble. 11 for 1. Mears bowled by Morris. Really a man for a crisis. Adrian Braffett, the tournament's second highest run getter, 233 runs, and he will really need to come good here in this all-important encounter. Just 19 runs behind Ron Bates. In fact, 19 runs would get him past Ron Bates. He's just 18 behind him. Ron Bates on 251. Ron Bates also playing in this game, so I'm sure Bates will be hoping that his bowlers can keep Braffett quiet. But Braffett with other ideas. Bates on his first delivery from Morris, and he's beaten outside the yard stump with a beauty. There's a question, more of a question from the man that slipped to the umpire Orion Seal, who indicates that it's not out, and it also brings over number 4 to its completion. And at the end of over number 4, the Limers team, remember they won the toss, they're 11 for 1. So this trial by spin will continue as Ian Drake's 2 overs, no maidens, none for 6, will continue from the northern end of the ground. Delivery outside the off stump, which is cut away to the man at backward point, but straight to that man at backward point. Looks like Brian Johnson, and yet again, there's no run. This veterans team with probably two of the best fielders in the tournament, Brian Johnson and Orion Gramotson Bostic. Delivery outside the yard stump. Quicker delivery beats the batsman outside the yard stump. Taken by the keeper in air guard, and yet again, there is no run. 11 for 1. So it's been really slow going here. Pedestrian pace, really. And this should be the first boundary of the innings. I can tell you, a short delivery and given the full treatment down the leg side of the air delivery, and Gregory Gaskin good enough to capitalize on it. So the first boundary of this encounter goes to Gregory Gaskin, and he doubles his scores. He's up to 8, and he's scoring now in 15 for 1. So the first real bad delivery delivered by Drakes. He started with a way down the leg side, but this one was poorly lined and short as well. And batsman Gaskin equal to the task and getting his first boundary of the encounter. 15 for 1. Drakes down the leg side and short again, and to Bates. I just spoke about the good fielders, and then I would have to mention Bates. On the other hand, as he gives up a single at that square leg region. So one more to the score. 16 for 1 as Drakes waits as Braffett surveys the field, then settles. Braffett is back and punching a delivery into the offside where it looks like Warren is at home there in that extra cover region, wideish extra cover region, and there is no run. Another poorly lined delivery and rightly called wide by umpire Orient Seal. So Sundry will take the score up to 17 for 1. We are one delivery away from the close of over number 5, and it's been really slow going here by the Limers as Braffett gets a delivery which is being played into the onside to the right of that man at short mid-wicket into the forward square region to close out over number 5, and at the end of it, with Braffett just opening his account and Gregory Gaskin on 9, the batsman dismissed Ken Mears' ball by Anthony Morris for 6. The Limers 11, they're 18 for 1. So Morris will continue from that the sovereign end. 2 overs, no maidens, 1 for 5 being the only wicket taker in this encounter so far. Bowser delivery, which batsman is good enough to come inside his stumps and turn it into the backward square leg region to double his score. So he's up to 2. Now Adrian Braffett, and the score up to 19 for 1. Into Gaskin. Gaskin down on one knee and sweeps powerfully through the backward square leg region to get his second boundary and the second boundary of the innings as he score up to 23 and Gaskin up to 13. So Gaskin, who's been a prolific run scorer for all of his life, really. Very successful opening batsman for the Maple Club back in his heyday. Some would have argued he'd been unfortunate not to have been selected for national duty as he's getting a delivery outside the yard stump. This time he attempts what a fellow commentator of mine would describe as a naughty shot, trying to steer it down to the third man region. Luckily for me, he didn't make contact. Waits on Morris again, and this time forward in the approved fashion and plays it into the offside where O'Geese in the number 23 jersey is at home, and there is no run. Forward back to that man O'Geese again to close out the end of over number 6, and at the end of the batting power play, it's been really slow going here for the Limers. 11 with Gaskin on 13. Braffett, the tournament's second highest run scorer, he's on 2 with a lot of work to do. They're 23 for 1. So, as is the want, as soon as the power play is done and dusted, Orion Bostic will come into the attack with a little bit more coverage in the outfield. Very useful all-rounder. Lane is being asked to come around to his right. And very meticulous with his field setting, his Bostic. There you see umpire seal indicating that the mode of operation will or should be right arm over. Starts with a short, quick delivery outside the off stump. There was the batsman cutting. Didn't make contact as that one should be taken by the keeper. In what is a very important game here. Both teams trying to book their place into the final. The loser of this one still has a bite at the cherry, a second bite at the cherry. I think the loser of this one will have to play against the Legends tomorrow to book their place, while the winner, I think, will have a straight flight, just like one of those planes leaving the Grantley Adams International Airport. Straight flight into the finals. 23 for 1 as Bostic is bowling a delivery which is well played by Braffett, who was good enough to open the back face and guide it to the left of that man who was just brought around to his right in that extra cover position, leaving a lot of vacant real estate between himself and the man at backward point. And the batsman have enough time to get an easy single, takes it up to 24 for 1. Gaskin, who's got 13, will come back in the strike. Braffett, with that single, he's at 3, standing at the non-striker's end, and really with a lot of work to do. Tournament second highest run score will hopefully be the catalyst for the Limers team, gets a good score and gets them to something that they can think they will be able to defend. 24 for 1. Delivery which is steered into the offside. Brian Johnson picks it up and then refuses to shy, because the closest fielder after the wicket keeper was a man all the way down at straight mid-on, and he wouldn't have no chance of getting around to back up. And Brian Johnson doing the right thing. This time not having a shy. 25 for 1. Bostic with the delivery getting a bit of inward curve. And this time the batsman Braffett good enough to turn it into the onside forward of square. And he picks up his 4th run and the 26th run of the innings, 26 for 1. The batsman dismissed Ken Mears. He was bowled by Anthony Morris for 6. Delivery which was getting some bunks there by Bostic to close out. Over number 7. And at the end of it, the Limers team winning the toss in batting first. Braffett has got 4. With him is Gregory Gaskin, who's got 14 there. 26 for 1.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute.
By the captain, he's going to bowl Anthony Morris 3 overs, no minutes, 1 for 10. Right out. So Morris is going to start what should be his final over from the Sovereign end. It's a bold move by the captain. As the delivery which is being driven to the right of that man coming around at extra cover. Looks like Warren. It will beat him, and Jeffrey LaFawn has to come around to his left at long off to do the tidying up. $27 for one. Looking for a quick single. And there was the batsman being called through by Braffett. Gaskin called through for a quick single, and Leon Lane hurriedly coming in, picked up. Had a shy at these non-strikers end, but the batsman safely home. 28 for one. As another plane takes off in the distance. From here at the BNOC Oval, we have a clear view of those planes taking off at the Grantley Adams International Airport. A delivery which is cut outside the yard. Starting man from cover has a lot of work to do. Too much work for him to do. And a boundary, his first of the encounter, to Adrian Braffett, who's up to 9 from 11 deliveries, and the score now up to 32 for one. As per the want as well, I've never seen a fit Adrian Braffett. Always seems to be carrying some kind of injury, and just after that shot, saw him there stretching the groin area. So I hope all is well for him and his team, as a delivery which is being whipped into the square leg region. So Braffett now goes into double figures. He's up to 10, and Gregory Gaskin is on 15. He will come back in the strike. The score 33 for one. Delivery, which is played back to the bowler, and there is no run. It's Morris bowls a short delivery, which is being tugged into the onside. They've gone for one, and it looks like they will settle on one as Ian Drix comes around to his right and does the fielding to close out. The AF over. Morris has completed his spell. 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 18. So some good stuff delivered by the off spinner from the Sovereign end. So his work with the ball is done. The Limers team in the toss, electing the bat. Gaskin 16, Braffett on 10, 34 for 1.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-2109.
Bostic continues with this line outside the yard stump to start his second over. A delivery which is steered down to third man, LaFawn. Does he feel any batsman have enough time to complete an easy single? Takes the score up to 35 for 1. Braffett will come back in the strike. He's got 10. Braffett has been around a long time. Would have played for the Barbados Cricket League. Would have spent a lot of time at the Cable and Wireless, then BT side. Punches a delivery through the offside. They've gone for one, and a poor bit of work there by the man coming around, Brian Johnson, uncharacteristically. And the batsman had already decided they were going to settle for one, so one more to the score. 36 for 1. Bostic, he would have played his trade for the started at Malvern, team in St. George. Then he would have went on to the YMPC side, and then he would have gone on to Banks, now called Wildy. So he's been around for a long time too. Was a short delivery there. Was the batsman attempting to pull it from outside the yard stump. Ball comes off the inside portion of the bat, goes to that man at short fine leg. Looks like Ron Bates, and the batsman hurriedly through for a single. Use that word hurriedly in the over 50s competition rather loosely. 37 for one. Ball stick continues with this short of a line approach, short of a length outside the yard stump approach. And the batsman again steering this one down to the third man region. Johnson from backward point has a lot of work to do. And the batsman complete one. Remember the Hamas tournament sponsored by Hebe's Beauty and Spa, BJ's Auto Care, Jalan's Creations, Ricky's Driving School, Rhoda Plastics, Barbados Limited, JD's Enterprises, Black and White, Whiskey, The Last Stop, Bar and Eatery, MJ Air Car Services, Terry's Food Truck, Kermit's Bar, Keep in Touch Inc., Premier World Cargo Inc., Barbados National Oil Company Limited, and Hamas Sporting Services. As Gaskin waits on another short delivery outside the yard stump, this time he cuts under it, some would argue, and the ball goes through to be taken by the keeper, 38 for one. Score will remain. Gaskin on 18 from some 26 deliveries. He's being partnered by Adrian Braffett. So far, they've put together a partnership of some 27 runs. The current run rate, 4.30. As we head into the final delivery of over number 9. A delivery which is turned into the onside, and Morris took a while to get down, but he got down, got around, and at the end of it, the Limers team, remember they won the toss, and the captain decided he wanted to take first knock here. Gaskin on 18, Adrian Braffett on 12, 38 for one.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-2109.
As we get ready to start the 10th over of the innings, the halfway stage of this one. Remember earlier today, the Legends would have gotten home in a super over. I'll have to tell you about all of that action shortly. As a delivery outside the yard stump, no ball called by the umpire as well. That's probably for height. No ball signal by umpire Earl Cullimore. Call and signal by umpire Earl Cullimore. A free hit has also been signaled as well. One back in his head there, he didn't really need to hear a free hit. He was really aggressive on attacking. Delivery outside the yard stump. And yet again, a batsman unable to capitalize on a free hit. 40 for one, so no run coming. Gaskin, he's got 18. He will wait on Alan Young, who's just been brought in the attack and starts with a brilliant Yorker. There was Gaskin opening up, attempting to drive to the offside. That one swung back a long, long way, hitting the base of that off stump. So wicket number 2 goes down. Gregory Gaskin goes bowled by Alan Young, who's picked up his second wicket of the tournament. 40-2. The Limers now winning the toss and deciding to take first knock. Starts with a crisp drive through the offside. Ball stick will come off the sweeper boundary and it's score up to 41. So he opens his account immediately. Thompson and Braffett now, surely with a lot of work to do. He's on 13 from 15 deliveries, about some 25 minutes so far. Delivery which is punch to the man at point and through the man at point. Ball stick with a lot of work to do. Does it really well. Coming rather quickly around from the cover boundary down to the point area to do the tidying up. And the batsman have enough time to complete and settle on one. 42 for 2. Braffett up to 14. And they score up to 42 for 2. A delivery which is beating the batsman outside the off stump. Taken by the keeper. There was the batsman Thompson groping outside the off stump there. Luckily for him, the edge not found. But Young, despite his figures so far, 9 overs in the tournament before this one, conceding 77 runs. Picked up 1 wicket. He started well. Delivery outside the off stump. Wide this time called by the umpire. Umpire Cullimore. The umpires in this encounter, umpire Earl Cullimore and Orion Seal. (43 for 2). That's Sundry. Takes his score up to. As Young on his way once more. Thompson forward. Opens the face. Gets it to that man at backward point. Looks like Warren so to close out. Over number 10 at the halfway stage with both teams having been already refreshed. The Limers team, remember, they won the toss and decided to take first knock. They're 44 for 2. This tournament started with some 6 teams. Veterans on 20 points, Lamers on 16, the Legends, 12, Travelers on 8. The top 4 teams coming out of the preliminary round. And now we are here at what they call the big boy stage, the playoff stage. And the Lamers up against the Veterans in this one. Both teams, the only 2 teams that have won this competition as a delivery short and punch by Dermot Thompson, who got inside his wicket rather early. It should be an interesting contest. The 2 of these used to be teammates. I don't know if you know that, Philip. They used to be teammates at the Passage United Club, Derwin and Ogies. So this is going to be an interesting contest between these 2. A delivery which is full in length and getting a bit of inward movement. Wait for the signal from the umpire if there's any forthcoming. No signal, so a bit of bat involved. So Thompson picks up his 3rd run and the 45th run of the innings. 45 for 2, the batsman gone. Ken Mears for 6 and Gregory Gaskin 18. Both of them going by the bowl route, one by Alan Young and one by Morris. A delivery, angle into the leg side and pass, a dive in Ron Bates and into the backward square boundary. So Morris picks up. Braffett, correction, picks up his 2nd boundary, and he's up to 18 now. So he's now equal with Ron Bates at the top of the run scoring chart on 251 runs. And the score now 49 for 2. I can also tell you that Andy Payne, he's 3rd on that run scoring sheet. He's got 224 runs. Owen Birch, 167 runs. Brian Johnson, who's involved in this encounter, 161. And Adrian Jones, man who plays this trade for the Legends, 222. With an opportunity tomorrow to add to that tally the tournament's leading run scores. The only name on that list really not known for making runs in Barbados is Andy Payne. 49 for 2. As a delivery which is turned into the onside. They've quickly gone for 1. Thinking about the second run. He will come back for it too as Boston. In fact, not this time. Looks like Warren. Then pick up on the 50. Coming up now for the Limers team. 50 from 68 deliveries. 41 minutes of batting. 4 fours. They're yet to get a maximum. So 50 comes up. 51 for 2. Braffett now goes to the top of the run scoring chart. He's on 20. And he's coming forward to pitched up delivery. Then rehearses the shot that he thought he should play. 51 for 2. O'Geese, his first over so far, 5 legal deliveries. He's conceded 7 runs. 51 for 2 as Braffett waits on O'Geese. He's down the track when he gets there. Hitting this one down to the man at long off who settles and takes the catch. It looks like Leon Lane with a lot of work to do on the long off boundary. He was down there distracted for a bit. High into the air. And there he was coming around. He had enough time to settle, maintain his composure. He was really close to that boundary line. And the batsman, Braffett, he will go caught brilliantly by Leon Lane at the long off boundary. So wicket number 3 goes down. And in a spot of bother now, the Limers team with their leading run scorer in the tournament being dismissed. Caught at long off, taking a chance. 1 chance too many off the ball of Raymond O'Geese. Limers 51 for 3. $51 for 3. Gaskin 18, Ken Mears 6, and Adrian Braffett 20. The batsman dismissed. So now the captain, Keith Seal, he makes his way to the crease and really with a lot of work to do now, really a rebuilding job for himself and Durbin Thompson. Durbin Thompson usually very dependable, very reliable. Some people describe him as a man for a crisis. But he would really have to bring all of his experience and run scoring ability to the fore here now as he waits on Alan Young. And he's driving to the offside. Ron Bates will not stop that today or tomorrow. They've gone for 1. Will come back for the second run quite easily as the man Warren has a lot of work to do coming around to his right on the cover boundary. And the batsman have enough time to complete 2 runs. Takes the score up to 53. 53 for 3. Thompson goes up to 5. Only 2 batsmen reaching double figures so far. Gregory Gaskin 18 and Adrian Braffett 20. Ken Mears 6. The batsmen all dismiss as Young. Delivery outside the stump. That's a wayward delivery, really wide. Called and signaled by the umpire. Agar good enough to get around there. The keeper takes the score up by 1 more sundry to 54. 54 for 3. We're in the 12th over of the innings. Remember the Limers, they won the toss and they decided they wanted to take first knock. Delivery driven sweetly through the offside by Thompson, gone for 1. And this time that's all there will be. Thompson looks good. Driving the deliveries through the offside. He goes up to 6 and brings his captain. 6 matches, 6 innings, 46 runs in the tournament. So really with a lot of work to do. Settles and waits. Raymond O'Geese. 11 wickets. Troy Toppin 11. Roger Howell 9. Ian Drake 6. Some of the leading wicket takers in this year's edition of the Amass over 50s Masters T20 tournament in its 5th year of existence. As Young, another delivery outside the yard stump. There's the batsman cutting and then having a question, slight query about the umpire, about the whether it was a wide or not, but umpire Cullimore, very seasoned campaigner, wouldn't fall for that trick. Delivery driven. Uppishly will have to hurry. Throw comes in, not well backed up by Bates, who was coming around rather speedily. The batsman have enough time to complete 2. So Seal opens his account, the captain of this Limers team. He opens his account with a double, and they score up to 57 for 3. Current run rate 4.82. Delivery outside the yard stump. The edge found and into the third man region it goes, where the man down here, O'Geese, comes around and does good work. So O'Geese does the fielding. And to close out the 12th over of the innings, the Limers 11 winning the toss, electing the bat. Thompson 6. Captain Keith Seal on 3. They're 58 for 3. Argo Inc. Keep in touch Inc. Kermit's Bar, Terry's Food Truck, some of the tournament sponsors. As a delivery is driven through the offside pleasantly. Gone for 1. They will come back for the second quite easily. Well played there by Captain Keith Seal, driving through the offside. And a lot of work for Ian Drake to do, coming around to his right. Takes his score up to 60, 60 for 3. Seal, he's gone up to 5, 5 from 5 deliveries. Wait on O'Geese. Driving a delivery back to the bowler, who does well in his follow through to get a hand, or some would say a boot to it. But in the end, there's no run, and I think that's what's most important for Raymond O'Geese. On his way, passes umpire Seal just about now. Boards the delivery, which is being whipped uppishly to Morris in at that mid-wicket region. And there is no run. So it's been some good stuff delivered here by Raymond O'Geese. First 5 deliveries cost 7 runs, but since then, he's really picked up a wicket and he's been keeping the batsman honest. A delivery which is hit to Morris, who this time will take the catch. A slower delivery. Wicket number 4 goes down. Captain Keith Seal looking to up the ante. And yet again, another batsman trying to take advantage of the bowling of Raymond O'Geese. Gives his hand away, caught by Anthony Morris in at that short mid-wicket region. 60-4. The Limers team. Him on wicket number 2 for Raymond O'Geese. So he continues to pick up wickets here in this encounter. And he's picked up crucial wickets too. Adrian Braffett, the tournament's leading team, Keith Seal. being dismissed by Raymond O'Geese. 1.4 overs, no minutes, 2 for 9 to be the top wicket taker so far in this innings. I think Ian Drake's 3 overs, no maidens, none for 13. Anthony Morris at the top of the order, 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 18. They're really tighten the screws at the top of the order. Bostic, 2 overs, no maidens, none for 7. Came into the middle overs and did the same thing. And Alan Young, 2 overs, no maidens, 1 for 13. Have been done the bulk of the work for the veteran side with the ball. A delivery down the leg side. And I can tell you, after that signal of wide, I can also tell you that a mis-stumping there by the keeper Agard, as that looks like the batsman Len Gill, new to the crease, falling over. And Agard missing a stump in there. Be a disappointed keeper behind the batsman there, Pedro Agard. 61 for 4 as Len Gill waits on O'Geese. And this time, wicket number 3 for Raymond O'Geese as Len Gill, swinging wildly across the line, loses his off stump. The veterans team in this all-important encounter here at the BNOC ground. Dave Estwick, the man who's got the responsibility now of getting this team, the Lamers 11, up to a respectable total, one they think that they would be able to defend. He waits on O'Geese, a delivery down the leg side, not taken by the keeper cleanly, but the umpire Orion Seal with the outstretched arms would indicate wide. So 62 for 5, as the extras now up to 7, made up of 6 wides and 1 no ball. The batsman dismissed Gregory Gaskin, 18, Ken Mears, 6, Adrian Baffett, 20, Keith Seal, 5, and Len Gill without scoring. As O'Geese into ball, the delivery is being driven to that man, looks like Alan Young, getting in the way there, that extra cover region, and there is no run. So at the end of 13 overs, the Lamers team with Dermot Thompson on 6, Dave Estwick yet to open his account, he's got 0, 62 for 5. 62 for 5, the start of over number 14 is going to be Alan Young to continue from the southern end. Starts with a delivery outside the stump. And Morris coming in rather quickly there in the point region. Has a shy at the stumps at the striker's end. But the batsman quickly home. Takes his score up to 63. 63 for 5. We're in over number 14. 14 of 20. Remember, this is the Amass over 50s T20 tournament being played here at the BNOC ground. Thanks for joining us on our live stream on Anything Cricket Let's Talk. As well, 64th run comes up. 64 for 5. Estwick, he's just opened his account. And Thompson, who's got 7, will come back in the strike. 64 for 5. As Thompson waits on a beauty of a delivery bowled by Alan Young. Delivery which pitched and held its line outside the off stump. Thompson pushing and prodding. Luckily for him, he didn't make contact. Ball went to be taken by wicketkeeper Pedro Yegard. The ball is already back with Alan Young. 2.3 overs, no maidens, 1 for 15. Coming inside his stumps this time is Derwin Thompson and turning the delivery into the onside to pick up his 8th run and the 65th run of the innings. 65 for 5. 13.4 overs have been completed. Delivery which is being driven through the offside. Yet again, Brian Johnson. Ball evades him and goes down to the man coming off the sweeper in Warren. So there's one more run. The 66th run of the inning. 66 for 5. Estwick doubles his score. He goes up to 2. And Thompson, who's got 8, comes back in the strike. Waits on Young, who's bringing him forward to close out over number 14. And at the end of it, the screws continue to be straight tightened here by the veteran side, the Limers team. 66 for 5. As Ogis will continue. Delivery is being struck straight down the ground. As Lane was coming around. Also coming around from long on was ball stick. And it goes right through the both of them and into the boundary. So a valuable boundary indeed. Much needed as well for the Limers team. Takes them up to 70 for 5. Estwick. He will go up to 6, picking up his first boundary, 6 from 4 deliveries. And if there's one man who can get them out of this precarious position here, it is Estwick. He's going to be very aggressive, and as you can see from that stroke, he's one who likes to hit the ball straight. And I've also heard all of my cricketing life, best value for runs, best value for shots is when you hit the ball straight down the ground. So Ogis at the top of his mark. The ball to Estwick, bottom pad close together, textbook style in the approved fashion. 70 for 5. Be interesting to work out what kind of total from this position the Limers team would think that they would be able to defend. They would have already lost Gregory Gaskin, Ken Mears, Adrian Braffett, Len Gill. Delivery outside the awesome, slower delivery, and there was the batsman good enough to adjust and punch it into the offside to pick up the 71st run of the innings and his 7th run. Derwin Thompson will come back in the strike. He's got 8. One spectator to my left is saying that he thinks 120 would be enough to do the trick. Delivery down the leg side, wide again, called by umpire Orion Seal. Called and signaled by umpire Orion Seal. Takes his score up to 72 for 5, so anything closer to that 120. On this perfect batting strip, though, I think that they will need a little bit more than 120. Perfect batting strip. 72 for 5. As A delivery played into the offside. Sensible batting by Thompson, looking for that single, looking to pick up the single, looking to rotate the strike. Gets an easy single into the offside. He picks up his 9th run as the score goes up to 73 for 5. We're in over number 15. Gregory Gaskin 18, Ken Mears 6, Adrian Baffett 20, Keith Seal 5, and Len Gill without scoring. The batsman dismissed. Estwick, who's got 7, comes back in the strike and he's punching the delivery straight to that man there, that whitish extra cover region, and there is no run. 73 for 5. Ogis bowls another well pitched up delivery and played to that man again at that extra cover region to close out over number 15. And at the end of it, the Limers team with Derwin Thompson on 9, Dave Estwick on 7. Current partnership just 12 runs. They're 73 for 5. Thompson is getting a full delivery bowled by Alan Young outside the off stump. And this one is punched down to the backward point region where the man from the sweeper boundary has a lot of work to do. Wide, no ball. Called by the umpire as well, umpire Earl Cullimore. And a free hit is on offer. 75 for 5. Can Dave Estwick make full use of this free hit? I'm sure his team would really want him to. As another flight takes off in the distance. And the field being adjusted as the new batsman, Estwick, will come in to strike for this free hit. So you know the rules of cricket. The field can be changed for the new batsman. As long as the batsman change, the field can be changed. Down the track when he gets there. Hitting this one off the outside portion, down to third man. This should run fairly close to the boundary. In fact, it has the legs to get into that third man boundary. So Estwick with that boundary. The first batsman to capitalize on a free hit in this encounter. He goes into double figures with 11 and scored up to 79 for 5. But there was the batsman, Estwick, giving him charge down the track. And when he got there, delivered outside the all stump. Being good enough to get it down to the third man boundary. Takes the score up to 79 for 5. Estwick up to 11. His partner Thompson on 10. They were joined Braffett and Gaskin as the only batters that have got into double figures in this inning so far. Still with a lot of work to do if they're to get up to that 120 that Ralph predicted. Score to Misha saying she can see 145. Delivery which is punch past Brian Johnson, who's really not feeling well at all today. Gets another double is Estwick. Takes his score now up to 81, and Brian Johnson uncharacteristically allowing that one to pass through him, but have been told he's not 100%, but still trying his best here for his side in this all-important encounter. Remember, the winner of this one goes straight to the final. The loser will have an encounter with the Legends tomorrow as the delivery is driven into the offside, and Warren sends a return up to the middle of the pitch where Young in his follow-through does the tidying up. 83 for 5. Estwick up to 15. 15 from 11 deliveries. 12 minutes of batting so far. He struck 2 fours. Yet to pick up a maximum. In fact, this innings devoid of a maximum really. 9 extras, 7 wides and 2 no balls. 83 for 5 as Estwick waits on Young, he's driving again through the offside. The man goes down on the sweeper boundary and the batsman walk a single. One more to the score. 84. No, 84 for 5. Thompson. Derwin Thompson comes back in the strike. He's got 10. 10 from 13 deliveries. He's batted some 32 minutes. Yet to strike a boundary. Face 4 dot balls. Waits on Alan Young. And to this delivery, Thompson coming inside his wicket and turning this one into the onside. Straight to that man at a short mid-wicket. The man with the orange cap. I'm sure he's going to lose that orange cap. Well, he has an opportunity to pass back. Braffett, Bates. So he'll be looking to hold on to his orange cap. A delivery driven uppishly to the man on the sweeper boundary. And this one goes past that man, Warren. So a boundary to Derwin Thompson to close out over number 16. And at the end of over number 16, the Limers team with Thompson on 14, Estwick on 16, 88 for 5. Alan Young, he will have just completed his allocation of overs. 4 overs, no bidders, 1 for 32. The Limers team, after 16 overs, 88 for 5. Hebe's Beauty and Spa, BJ's Auto Care, Jalan's Creations, Ricky's Driving School, Roto Plastics, Barbados Limited, JD's Enterprises, Black and White Whiskey, The Last Stop, Bar and Eatery, MJ Air, Car Services, Terry's Food Truck, Kermit's Bar, Keep in Touch Inc., Premium World Cargo Inc., Barbados National Oil Company Limited, and the Amas Sporting Services. Remember, this is the Amas over 50s T20 tournament. As we head into over number 17, as the captain continues to make some changes to the field, the man from third man being asked to come inside the circle, the man at long on being asked to come around to his right, and the man at long off being asked to go a bit wider, and the man at cover also being asked to come around to his left. Very meticulous with the field settings here, as it should be Ogis to continue. Starts with the delivery down the leg side and wide. So extras now go into double figures. Extras up to 10, made up of 8 wides and 2 no balls as he score up to 89 for 5. 89 for 5. Start of over number 17. The current run rate 5.56. Will that be enough? Delivery punch into the offside by Estwick, who's really shown a lot of attacking intent in this inning so far. 17 from 13 deliveries, just 16 minutes of batting, but he struck 2 boundaries. In fact, this inning so far only having some 7 boundaries. All told, 2 to Gaskin, 2 to Adrian Braffett, and I just mentioned Estwick. And there's Derwin Thompson looking to pick up boundary number 8. Sweeping a delivery within the backward square leg region to take his score up to 18 and his score up to 94 for 5. A poorly lined delivery, and Derwin Thompson good enough to capitalize on it, sweeping it in that vacant backward square region. 94 for 5, so inching closer 1 to that 100 mark, and then 2 to the 120 that Ralph believes that his Limers team are good enough to defend. As I said earlier, score Denisha says she thinks they need to get up to 145, 150, but all of that is conjecture. The reality is they're 94 for 5. Now would be a good time again to mention the fact that the Legends would have gotten over the line in the eliminator earlier today in a super over. They wanted 2 runs from 2 balls, and Andy Payne took a single off the second last ball. Game going to a super over, 94 for 5, as Ogis is bowling a delivery which is full in length, and the batsman Derwin Thompson equal to the task, coming on to the front foot and being good enough to keep it from zoning in on those stumps. Score will remain on 94 for 5. But in the end, in the super over, they managed to get up to some 13 runs, and the team in response could only get up to 5. Delivery outside the yard stump There's a batsman attempting to steer delivery down to third man. An appeal coming from Pedro Agard. And umpire Orion Seal is on move at the standing umpire's end. Says not out. Agard, not a very happy man, but the only opinion that matters is that of umpire Orion Seal. 94 for 5. We're in over number 17 as Thompson waits on Ogis playing this one into the onside. They've gone for one. Will they come back for the second one? They should do so quite easily as the man from Long On in Boston has a lot of work to do. So a double to Dermot Thompson should take him up to 20 and he's up to 96 for 5. One legal delivery remains in the 17th over. Again, a good decision by the umpire. And this one, whipped high, hard, but straight to the man on that forward square boundary. And this time, Brian Johnson takes the catch. I really thought that was going to be the first maximum of this innings, but in the end, a power failure, really. Dermot Thompson caught on the forward square boundary. Good catch taken by Brian Johnson. Wicket number 6 goes down, and at the end of his spell, Raymond Ogis, now his figure should read 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 26. So some top stuff delivered there by the man Raymond Ogis. And wicket number 6 goes down with the score on 96. 96 for 6 at the end of over number 17. And still trying to get up to that 100, that 120. The Limers team, a team captained by Keith Seal. But some brilliant figures there again. Must mention them again. Bowled by Raymond Ogis, delivered by Raymond Ogis in a crunch match. 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 26. So that's some top stuff delivered there by the medium pacer, who's the last bowler belatedly introducing the attack, and he's really done well for his captain. We'll start over number 18, being switched around to the sovereign end by his captain. Starts with a short delivery, which is punched into the offside by Estwick to pick up his 18th run and the 97th run of the innings, 97 for 6. Some 2.5 overs remain. The new batsman is Victor Patrick. Can he put bat to ball? Can he find a couple lusty blows to get his team up to somewhat of a respectable total? The assistant manager, Ralph Wharton, thinks that 120 is going to be enough. As Patrick swinging this one. A lot of vacant real estate on the onside as Patrick finding the backward square leg boundary. His first delivery, he picks up his first boundary. And the 100 comes up as well, ladies and gentlemen. The 100 coming up, 114 deliveries, 75 minutes of batting, 9 fours yet to get a maximum. 101 for 6, 17.2 overs. Victor Patrick with a lusty strike to start his innings. He's striking at 400. 101 for 6. Can Patrick and Estwick find a few more lusty blows? Orion Bostic has other ideas. As Bostic will change his mode of operation. Going to be right arm around the stumps this time. Balls delivered outside the off stump. Patrick is back and punch into the offside where Alan Young gets in the way, but the batsman have enough time to pick up run number 102 for his side. 102 for 6. Estwick on 18 comes back in the strike. 18 from 14 deliveries. Struck 2 fours already. Some adjustments being made. The third man being brought inside the circle. Man at a forward point. In fact, now being asked to come to backward point. The man on the extra cover boundary is very wide. There's also a man at extra cover in Ron Bates and a man at long off in Lafon. At long on is Ian Drakes. And Brian Johnson on the deep mid wicket or cold corner boundary. Leon Lane is at short fine leg. They live outside the off stump. And with the outstretched arms of Bostic, I would imagine that he thinks that that was a drop catch. Not a lot of reaction from keeper Pedro Agar though. 102 for 6. 17.4 overs, 2.2 overs remaining in this encounter as Bostic, who's usually a really grumpy campaigner, continues. And Agar now will get involved as well. As Estwick pulls away, does some fixing to himself, trying really to make sure that the byplay between Agar and Bostic doesn't affect his concentration. His mind set on getting his team up to a respectable total from 102 for 6. Waits on Bostic. Bostic is bowling the delivery outside the yard stump. Goes through to be taken by keeper Agar, who passes it to Ron Bates. The tournament at this point in time, the tournament second highest run score. He's still wearing the orange cap, but he would have been passed by Adrian Braffett in this encounter. So he's just one run away though. As Bostic bowling the delivery, which is being steered to that man that was just brought into that backward point region to close out over number 18. And at the end of it, Bostic, 3 overs, no middles, none for 14. And the Limers 11, remember they won the toss earlier that afternoon and decided they wanted to take first knock. They are 103 for 6.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851.
Drakes will be brought into the attack to bowl the penultimate over of this encounter. 3 overs, no maidens, none for 13. Prior to this one, starts with a delivery outside the yard stump. No signal coming from the umpire, so I can assure that that was well within the guidelines. 103 for 6. The veterans team continue with this line outside the yard stump. A delivery which is punched into the offside. It's worked for them very well up to this point. As the 104th run of the innings is taken. Looking for the second run is Estwick. As that one not taken cleanly by Drakes, and the batsman have enough time aware of the situation and picking up the 105th run with that overthrow. 105 for 6. Estwick has played a lone hand. He's the top scorer in this inning so far. He's got 21. Derwin Thompson and Adrian Braffett both got to 20. And Gregory Gaskin, 18, the only batsman they've got into double figures. 105 for 6. Drakes. Man at short third man, man at backward point, man at extra cover. Balls of the Richie batsman is forward. Not what the doctor required at this time because there's no run. 105 for 6. Estwick on 21. Drives a delivery back to Drake, so it's follow through. Does the tidying up, and yet again, there is no run. So it's been a really good start to this, the penalty bit over. So far, just conceding those 2 runs. Delivery down the leg side, and the batsman good enough to get it down to the backward square region. Wait for the signal from the umpire if there's any forthcoming. Leg by signal by the umpire. Thought a lot of pad was involved there. 106 for 6. Ron Bates, the man at home doing the field in that square leg. I'm sure they must give whoever captains this side a Grammy, really, to get Ian Drakes, Alan Young, Pedro Agard, and Lane Control. And Orion Bostic. The captain must be given a national award. 106 for 6. One legal delivery remains in the final over of this encounter. Morris now being asked to come to the edge of the circle. He's also bringing Lane a bit straighter at long on. And he's asking Ogis to come a lot straighter at long off. So with that field placing, some would imagine that the ball should be straight, full and straight, but let's wait and see. Drakes might have other ideas. Balls of delivery, the batsman is down the track, and when he gets there, misses it, and is out stumped. So wicket number 7 goes down. Victor Patrick down the track, leaving home. Not a lot of bus fear left stranded. 106 now. 106 for 7 to close out over number 7, over number 9. Time effecting a stumping. This time is Pedro Agard. And at the end of it, I can tell you wicket number 7 goes down 106 for 7 as the new batsman looks like Dave Bunker Clark, a man good enough to have been invited to national trials. Man almost good enough to make a Barbados 13, batting as low as number 9. So his batting would have really deteriorated over the years. Dave Clark, now really playing as a off spinner. But it's going to be Estwick with a lot of work to do. Also doing a lot of work, I can tell you, the cargo handlers over by the airport as another plane takes off. 106 for 7. The ladies have Ellis on the back foot. 106 for 7. Start of over number 20 is going to be bowled by Bostic, who starts with the delivery, which is punch into the offside, into that point region where Morris is at home. Run 107 comes up, and Dave Clark comes in to strike. I can tell you he has a fan club of about 20 spectators to the west of the ground. All of them over there really coming to support Dave Clark. What can Dave Clark bring to the fore here? Waits on Bostic. He's getting the delivery. He's playing forward. Can't score. I'm sure just not what the doctor intended at all, but there was Clark probably thinking about getting Estwick, who's in more aggressively 2 back on strike. But at this stage, anyone can be aggressive. He really needs to show some sort of aggressive intent. Dave Clark. Waits on Bostic. Bowling the delivery. Clark is giving himself some room and cutting, but a good bit of work by Morris. Diving away to his left at backward point and saving a certain boundary. Had that gone past him. Morris diving away to his left at that backward point region and saving what would have been a certain 4, saving 3 runs for his side, as Clark opens his account, and Estwick, with 3 legal deliveries remaining, comes back on the strike. He's on 22. What can Estwick do here? Waits on Bostic. He's waiting for this one into the onside. Lots of work for Brian Johnson to do. Coming around, gone for 1. They will come back for the second run. Johnson does well, hauling that one in just before the boundary line, and the batsman have enough time to complete 2 runs. So 2 more to Estwick should take him up to 24, and he score up to 110. 110 for 7. 19.4 overs have been completed. Bostic continues to bowl well. 3.4 overs, no maidens, none for 18. On his way into bowl to Estwick. Estwick is wrapped on pads, and Morris from that backward point region comes around as umpire Earl Conabore signals leg by. So they score up to 111. Nelson, 111 for 7. I'm not sure Orion Seal or Earl Cullimore will stand with 1 leg raised. 111 for 7 as Bostic looking to close out this one into Clark. Bunker Clark is driving this one down to long on. Gone for 1. They will come back quite quickly for the second when the return is being sent all the way up to the keeper's end. Clark good enough to get home. And at the end of their allocation of 20 overs, the Limers with Estwick on 24. Dave Clark will finish on 3 not out. 113 for 7. I will quickly endeavor to run through the scorecard for you. Gregory Gaskin, he was bowled by Alan Young for 18. Ken Mears was bowled by Anthony Morris for 6. Adrian Braffett, he was caught by Leon Lane at long off the bowling of Raymond Ogies for 20. Derwin Thompson was caught by Brian Johnson on the deep forward square boundary off the bowling of Raymond Ogies for 20 as well. Keith Seal, he was caught by Morris off the bowling of Ogies for 5. Len Gill, swinging across the line, was bowled without scoring. Victor Patrick, he was stumped by Pedro Eger off the bowling of Ian Drake for 5. Dave Clark left not out on 3. Dave Estwick left not out on 24. There were some 12 extras made up of 8 wides, 2 no balls, 113 for 7 quickly. The bowling figures: Ian Drake's 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 15. Anthony Morris 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 18. Orion Bostic 4 overs, no maidens, none for 20. Alan Young 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 32. And the star of the show of the ball, Raymond Ogies 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 26. Pick of the bowlers here. And the Limers team, remember they won the toss, decided they wanted to take first knock. They would have gotten up to 113 for 7. Will that be enough to stop the veterans from proceeding into the finals? Your guess is as good as mine as we rejoin you in about 10 minutes or so.
Well, congratulations, Jamel. Congratulations to you, to the captain, the coach, the backroom staff, the team. And I would say, I know for the first test you had one or two supporters from the Caribbean. I don't know what happened for the second test, but congratulations to all concerned in playing some role in what was a truly remarkable cricketing event, a victory for the West Indies, first time in almost 35 years in Pakistan. What has been the mood like in the camp? What's the mood been like in the camp since then?
Well, the mood is fantastic. Everyone is happy. The guys are we are bubbling together. We even celebrate yesterday in the team room and saw the guys eating and having a good time and having laughter. And the fellas was in a very good spirit as well. So I must say it was a outstanding feeling, special feeling, especially losing the first game and coming back and winning in such a commanding way as well. That made the victory even more special.
Have you guys fully, may seem a strange question, but have you guys fully grasped the magnitude of what you achieved? I mean, not only the first time in 35 years, but to be 54 for 8 before lunch on the first day and come back and win by over 100 runs. Have you guys fully sat down and really understood what you've done?
I I don't think any of us have as yet. Myself personally haven't realized the accomplishment and the position that we were in to come, as you said, and win that game in that manner. I don't think myself or even the team have realized what we have really, really, really done. The character that we have showed, the guts, the fight. So for now, I think we're just enjoying the win, but I guess probably on our flight or we have time to sit at home and relax and analyze what happened. I think it would then sink in to us and realize that we have done something very, very outstanding.
But that's putting it mildly, something very, very outstanding. I'll give you this though. When we spoke after the first test, you did warn me that things would be different, that you are getting adjusted, you're starting to understand the conditions and so on, and you were actually promising. You didn't promise a win. You didn't go that far. Neither
Mm.
did you promise a game that would go beyond 3 days. But you did promise that it would be a much better contest. And from the West Indian perspective, it certainly was.
Yes, definitely. I could have feel it throughout the camp, throughout the dressing room, and the aura from the team. It wasn't a negative aura; it was a positive aura. And like you could feel like the belief, and the guys were saying they understand that they're ready. The challenge is there, and we're ready for the challenge. No one seemed like they wanted to back away from the challenge. Everyone wanted the game to start to prove a point. Cause I know a lot of what was said about us after we lost the first test, but it didn't get the team down. The team still continued the belief and the hunger to win the second test was there. Kind of felt it in the dressing room. So that's why when we spoke, I told you it's going to be a lot different in second test.
Well, you said a lot was said about the team after the first test. A lot has been said about this team. A lot has been said about this team all the time. I mean, the reality is that it's a team that is a developing team, a team that has
Yeah.
not yet reached any lofty heights, and that's the reality. And I think some of us believe that you will get to those lofty heights by a change of captaincy or by bringing in one player for another player and things of that nature. Yes, team selection is always going to be important. But from a strategic point of view, we seem to love to punish people, and there's always a lot of talk about dropping this body and all that sort of thing. So I get where you're coming from, and I do agree with you that you've got to not take on those things. But basically, what happened? Talk us through it if you can. What basically happened between the first test and the second test that made the difference? I get it that the confidence was there, the desire to want to do well, to want to make up for a bad showing in the first test. I understand that. But were there specific things strategically that you guys did between the two test matches?
Um. First of all, we had a good discussion as a team. Craig and the coach, even the manager got involved and gave us a very important speech. So you could feel that everyone was buying into what everyone was saying. But from the practice sessions, I could see the fellas putting their head down and trusting the game plans and working on things that they want to do in the game. And there was a lot of questions was asked, and they're in the meeting, so they decided that they're going to try in the practice, and you can see people willing to learn. And I think that's the major difference. The way how we took the information from the first game, and it wasn't like the team wasn't defensive. We had an open mind and we accept what we need to do to improve. And it went into the practice sessions, and just the speeches that the captain gave us and the manager was very important as well.
Second half of this all-important encounter between the Limers and the veterans. The Limers would have gotten up to 113 for 7. And for the veterans to proceed into next Saturday's final, they will need to get up to 114. The loser of this one still has a second bite at the cherry, but they will have to take on the Legends tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. And I'm sure you can join us on our stream, Anything Cricket Let's Talk, on the Flash Drive Media Network. You can join us for that one as well tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. But this one is all-important encounter between the Limers and the veterans. They've gone to the experienced left-arm seamer in Len Gill, who's picked up the attack from the northern end of the ground, bowling to the tournament's second highest run scorer. Well, he's just one run away now from being tied with Adrian Braffett. Ron Bates goes up to 252. Adrian Braffett has 253. So it's going to be a close thing for that orange cap as Jeffrey LaFawn comes in to strike, and immediately he's off the mark as well. With a single played into the onside, where it is fielded by Adrian Braffett. I'm sure one of the key men in this Limer side. With bat, ball, and also helping the captain tactically. One of the thinkers of the cricket game is Adrian Braffett. Delivery down the leg side. It looks like a drop catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fielders with hands on head. And there was Bates pulling a delivery down the leg side. It'll be interesting to see the replay on that one. But I'm sure that a bit of glove was involved there. And a chance going to beg a wicketkeeper Gregory Gaskin, not good enough to come up with that. And the keeper not at all interested. I can tell you now that Bates, after that reprieve, will pick up his first boundary, and a boundary that will take him yet again once more back to the top of the run scoring chart. He's 256 he goes to, but he's in this innings he's on 5, but he's gone back to the top of the tree. 256 runs in total for the tournament. Ron Bates, the veteran, he also the tournament's highest run scoring in the innings. Got a masterful 104, told by our scorer, Tamisha. With Ron Bates, 108, correction. Really batted well this year. Was struggling for a bit. In fact, overall stats for the 5 years of the tournament. Bates, leading run scorer. 878 runs, followed closely by Owen Birch, 800. Wilbert Bruce, little distance off, 627. Gregory Gaskin, 622. Bates waits on Len Gill. A delivery punch into the offside to the right of the man at backward point. Bates was looking for a single, but his partner in Jeffrey LaFawn at the non-strikers are not at all interested in that quick single. 6 without loss. Remember, the target is 114. They've got all of 20 overs in which to get there. As Len Gill bows the delivery, Bates is tagging it from outside the off stump down to that fielder there at long on. Looks like David Estwick. So the closeout over number 1 in pursuit of a target of 114. The veterans looking for a place in next Saturday's final. They are 7 without loss.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851.
In the eliminator, the Travelers would have gotten up to 166 for 5, and the Legends, they would have also finished on 166 for 5, indicating that we would have needed a super over. The Legends would have gotten up to 12 for 1, and in response, the Travelers could only muster 3 runs before they would have been bowled out, handing the Legends a chance in tomorrow, what would definitely be a semi-final, up against the losers of this one. Well, the winner will book their place in next Saturday's final. So lots on stake here. A very important encounter. One team would like the rest of the week to recuperate, while the other one will have to play tomorrow. So lots going on here. Delivery outside the all stump short. Looks like Derwin Thompson comes into the attack. Starts with a short delivery, and there was Bates getting on top of it and punching it, but straight to that man, David Estick, at backward point, and there's no run. In fact, it's not Derwin Thompson. It is Winston Giddens. Correction. Delivery outside the all stump this time. Pierces the offside field, gone for one as this one goes in, or fairly close to the point boundary, and Victor Patrick was after it, and the return on its way. The batsman have enough time to complete 2. Nine without loss. Target is 114. Bates punches back past the bowler down to mid-off, where the fielder goes down in the approved long barrier position, and then on the harms is returned to the bowler. Score into double figures now, 10 without loss, as Lafon, who's got one, comes back on the strike. Bates has done the bulk of his scoring, and there's a delivery outside the all stump. There's a batsman attempting the cut, taken by keeper Gregory Gaskin, who would have put down Bates in the previous over. 10 without loss. Bates is on 9. Delivery down the leg side, and this time a good take by the keeper, a good stop, I should say instead. Good stop by keeper Gaskin, as wide is signaled by the umpire. Takes the scrub to 11 without loss. Bates on 9, Lafon, who's on strike. He's got one from 2 deliveries. Bates on Gittins. Gittins outside the yard stump, and this time wide, called again by the umpire to take the score up to 12. 12 without loss, so it's not the usual tight stuff being on offer here by Winston Giddens, who's known for his accuracy. Ball to delivery outside the yard stump. Captain Seal not fielding cleanly. They've gone for 1. They will come back for the second run. And interested in the third was Lafon, but Bates not at all interested in that third run. Decides to settle on 2. Score up quickly up to 14. 14 without loss. We're in over number 2. 2 of 20. They've got all of 20 overs in which to get up to that magical target of 114 and a place in next weekend's final. As Gittins bowls a delivery called wide again by the umpire. So Gittins' radar is really off today. 15 without loss. Probably under a bit of pressure. His side not really getting up to that big total to defend, and he's really trying too hard here. Gittins, he's on his way once more. The ball delivery outside the yard stump. Played into the gully region, where the man from slip kicked it to the backward point region, but the batsmen have decided they wouldn't take a run. And at the end of the second over, in pursuit of a target of 114, the veterans, with Ron Bates on 9 and Lafon on 3, they're 15 without loss. As Len Gill will continue. Bowls of delivery to base is wrapped on the pads. And the index finger of umpire Orion Seal goes up. A loud appeal. And the index finger of umpire Orion Seal goes up. So Ron Bates goes LBW 2. Glenn Gill. So the wearer of the orange cap, it will be interesting to see that replay again. 260 runs. He's been dismissed for 9. LBW to the left arm seamer of Len Gill. 15 for 1. And there the new batsman, I can tell you, while we wait, is Brian Evergreen Johnson. He's been around for a long, long time. Started at the Lord School, went on the combined schools, then he went on the combined schools north, then he went straight to Cable and Wireless. He's been there ever since. Only ever club he's ever represented. Then he moved from there when they changed the name to BT, same club. Then they left Wildy. They came up to St. Philip Gladiola. Then they branched off to BNOC. The index finger of the umpire being raised. And as you saw the tram lines, Philip, happy with that decision. Philip, my producer, very happy with that decision as we saw the tram lines. Delivery pitching on and straightening. And Bates plumb in front, palpably LBW. 15 for 1. The new batsman is Brian Johnson. Remember, the stream is Anything Cricket Let's Talk on the Flash Drive Media Network. And we're also live at the BNOC ground in Woodburn, St. Philip for this all-important encounter between the Limers and the Veterans, the only two teams that have won this competition. As the delivery is bringing Johnson forward, long forward, and this time bottom part of close together plays into the offside, and there is no run. 15 for 1. The target is 114. Can the Limers defend this 114 here as Gill now plays his trade for Pickwick, bowling the delivery outside the off stump in the regular season. Punch into the offside by Johnson to pick up his first run, and the score up to 16 for 1 as Jeffrey LaFawn comes back into strike, and they're asking Patrick from mid-wicket to go all the way down onto the forward square boundary. They're asking the man at long off to come inside the circle at mid-off. They're sending the man from backward point down to a short third man, and there's a man at slip as Gill on his way to board to LaFawn. LaFawn is driving pleasantly down the ground, picks up his 4th run and the 17th run of the innings as he scored 17 for 1 in pursuit of a target of 114. The current run rate 6.38, the required run rate 5.60. So really, really manageable here, this run rate. A lot of work to do as a delivery which is driven back to the bowler, Len Gill. Now seem to have settled into a good line and length. Already picked up a wicket of Bates. He would have been unlucky in his first over when Bates was dropped by the keeper down the leg side. But making amends himself. Len Gill striking him palpably, LBW in front. A full delivery. Johnson good enough to drive sweetly to the left of the man at mid-off. They've gone for 1. They will come back for the second run as the man at long off has a lot of work to do coming around to his left. And the batsman have enough time to complete the second run to close out over number 3. And at the end of it, in pursuit of a target of 114, the Veterans, they are 19 for 1. So they've gone back to their tried and trusted delivery, and there was the fielder coming around trying to do some footwork. Looks like Dave Clark, and a boundary to LaFawn. He's up to 8, and he scored quickly up to 23 for 1. Remember, the target is 113. Remember, the Limers won the toss, and they decided to take for a snot. With 4 batsmen getting into double figures, they managed to get up to 113 for a 7 of their allocation of 20 overs. As a delivery outside the off stump, steered down to short third man, where there's a fielder at home in Ken Mears, who does the tidying up. Both these teams would have finished 1-2 in the standings, and both of them earning themselves a chance to play in the qualifier. The winner will go straight to the final. The loser will have to come back tomorrow evening at 2 p.m. to face the Legends, who narrowly got over the line after breathtaking, some would call it, super over. Andy Payne, Andy Payne, needing 2 runs from 2 deliveries, decided to take a single. Had his team in a spot of bother, but in the end they got home. A delivery turned into the onside by Brian Johnson and fielded by the man at short mid-wicket. Looks like Gill, and there is no run. 24 for 1, targeted 114 as Giddens on his way into bowl to the batsman who's punching sweetly to the offside. Johnson punches to that man on the sweeper boundary, and then not backed up cleanly past the keeper. The man not coming around, so we'll get a second run. Not for the first time today. We've seen a thrower not being backed up in the outfield, and the batsman alert enough to pick up that extra run. Takes the score up to 26. 26 for 1. We're in the 4th over of the innings. Johnson, he's got 5. And LaFawn, a delivery punch. Throw the offside magnificently by Johnson. The man on the sweeper was asked to come in about 10 meters off the boundary, and he didn't stand a chance as that one beat him to his left as he went into the boundary. So a boundary to Brian Johnson. He's quickly up to 9, and he scored quickly up to 30 for 1. The veterans in pursuit of a target of 114. Ron Bates, the top of the run scoring chart. Adrian Braffett, close behind him. Andy Payne. Also there, Adrian Jones with a chance to improve on that tomorrow. Raymond O'Geese, the top of the wicket-taking pile. He goes to 15 wickets. A delivery down the leg side. Wide, called by the umpire. Takes the score up to 30 for 1. Umpire Earl Cullimore. So Gittins, not his usually tight self at all today. Probably succumbing to the pressure here. Bowls a delivery outside the off stump to close out his second over. Being really expensive. 2 overs, no winners, none for 20. And the veterans in pursuit of a target of 114. They're 31 for 1.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-21.
Start of over number 5. Bowls delivery to straighten it again. There's Lengill. LaFawn crosses stumps and punching back to the bowler, and there is no run. LaFawn is tugging the delivery for outside the off stump, but his field strategically set for that shot as the man at long on is at home, and he gets 1 more run to take him into double figures, and he scored up to 32 for 1. He's up to 10. Brings Johnson, who's got 9, into strike. And yet again, the field will change. Captain Keith Seal, really an astute leader. as Thompson also helping to marshal the troops from first slip. Gill bows a delivery to Johnson, who's backing across his stumps and punches this one into the onside. I can tell you the think tank of this Limers team: Keith Seal, Derwin Thompson, Adrian Braffett, Dave Bunker Clark. The men really behind all the decision making as Gill bows a delivery, brings the batsman forward, tentatively Brian Johnson. And yet again, there's no run. So the tournament winding down. We started with some 6 teams. We're down to the final 4. In fact, some would argue we're down to the final 3, as the challengers would have been eliminated today, the eliminator. One more to the score. Takes it up to 33 as a delivery played into the offside. Gets an easy single. 33 for 1. They're asking the man Ken Mears to come inside the circle. And the man at long on will go down again for Lafon. Captain Keith Seal. Really meticulous with his field setting, as I mentioned before. Also asking that man on the deep forward square boundary to come a bit straighter. So Gill, with all the field adjustments being made, was a good delivery. Started on the off stump and just darting back into those stumps. And Lafon, good enough to keep it out. So to close out over number 5 in pursuit of a target of 114. The veterans, 33 for 1. As an enforced bowling change, Winston get his 2 overs, no minutes, none for 20. He's being replaced by Dave Clark. $33 for 1 as Clark asks the man a long off to come back inside the circle. Man at a straightish long on, a man at a deep forward square, man at backward square leg, a man at short mid wicket, and Derwin Thompson at home at slip. Clark starts with a delivery outside the off stump. Quicker delivery outside the off stump. Goes through to be taken by the keeper, and there's no run. Clark on his way. Flighty delivery driven through the offside by Brian Johnson, and this should run fairly close to the boundary. They've gone for 1. As it crosses the rope just about now, the field is just after it, just to retrieve a boundary. A delivery given lots of air outside the off stump by Dave Clark, and Brian Johnson equal to the task, driving through the offside all along the ground. 14 to Brian Johnson, 37 for 1. We're in over number 6, the last over of the power play. Man from slip has gone into the offside, looking to reinforce that offside field. And now they've set down a man on the sweeper boundary. Down on the sweeper boundary. Slip goes to a cover point area, and Derwin Thompson. Now they're asking the man at backward point to come a lot finer to a short third man area. So lots of changes being made to the field. And Bunker Clark on his way to bowl delivery. So the all-stump but driven through that extra cover region again. And this one should go again into the boundary. So delivery is given some room outside the all-stump. And Brian Johnson, for those of you who know him, he's a really good exponent of any sort of a whiff given to him outside the all-stump. He will capitalize on it. Another boundary to Johnson, quickly up to 18 from 14 deliveries. And he scored quickly up to 41 for 1. The veterans team in pursuit of a target of 114. But the field set in here by the captain, I'm not so sure this is the right move. He bought the man on the sweeper boundaries, bought him really square, and the two boundaries would have been wider than that position. 41 for 1. 5.3 overs. We're still in the batting power play. So now let's see if any more adjustments will be made to the field. They're asking the man at backward point now to come around to short third man. They've brought in the man on the sweeper boundary. So now they're not going to go with a sweeper. They're going to strengthen the onside field, it looks like. They've asked a man to come in at short mid-wicket. So I guess the line is going to be a lot straighter. A delivery down the leg side and wide call by the umpire. 42 for 1. So I can understand the thought process going through here between the captain and bowler. They've decided to bring the sweeper up and asking him to bowl a lot straight away, strengthening the onside field. As Clark on his way once more into bowler Johnson, and Johnson is forward. This one a lot tighter on the off stump, not giving him the arms that he would have given him on the two previous deliveries when he was scored 2 boundaries. 42 for 1. Clark, straight. This one is hit down the ground. This one is hit out of the ground. A magnificent shot by Brian Johnson. He decides he's going to come straighter. He comes straighter and full, and Brian Johnson gets on the it and lofts it over long on and quickly up to 24, and he scored 48 for 1. Wrapped up a dominant innings and 54-run win over the West Indies Academy. Game which was played at Kensington Oval. From an overnight position of 211 for 6. Carroll Tuckett Boyne, who was not out on 71, he would have gotten up to 100 Phillip. Finished on 103. Not out as his team were bowled up for 288. So Carroll Tuckett Boyne getting what should be his maiden first class 100. So despite being beaten badly by Barbados, there's still some positives to be taken from that game for the West Indies Academy. And I think there were lots of positives to be taken from that game. Rivaldo Clark got 78, Barbadian. Joshua Bishop, the left arm spinner, got 57 not out. Carlton Tuckett Boyne today got 103. Teddy Bishop 58. Ramon Simmons 4 for 43. And Jamel Warrican 6 for 114. Doing the bulk of the work for the Barbados side. And to close out the bowling power play here at the BNOC ground, what I can tell you, the veterans team in pursuit of a target of 114. After the end of the power play, there are 48 for 1.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-2109.
LaFon is driving down the track, down to the man at long off in Ken Mears. So there's only one run as he returned already on its way. Takes the score up to 49 for 1. Remember the target is 114. Raymond O'Geese being the pick of the bowlers for the veteran side, 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 26. And really, the man with the golden arm for his side today. Also now the man at the top of the leading wicket takers chart. Those 4 wickets move him up to 15 as Gill goes to deliver his hit into the offside. Captain Keith Seal comes around to his left, does the fielding, and there's no run. Johnson 24 from 18 deliveries. 21 minutes of batting so far. He struck 3 fours and 1 6. And his partner LaFon 11 from 11. 1 4. Gill. Into Johnson. Johnson is getting a good delivery from outside the off stump, seaming back and getting a bit of bunks as well. So a good trap on offer here. If you're good enough to bend your back, you can get some of it. And if you can bat, surely you will make some runs. 49 for 1. 49 for 1. The target is 114. Gill at the top of his mark. Passes umpire. Seal just about now. Bowls a delivery. Batsman is playing into the offside down to that short third man region to bring up the 50th run of the innings. The 50 coming off 45 deliveries, 31 minutes of batting, 5 fours and 1 6. Remember the target is 114. Winston Giddens, not his usual tight self, 2 overs, no minutes, none for 20. Dave Clark, 1 over for 15 runs. So the 3 overs coming from the southern end have conceded some 35 runs as Len Gill bowls another good delivery, which is bringing the batsman forward. So the captain will have some work to do from that southern end because the 3 overs coming from that southern end so far have conceded some 35 runs between Gill and Dave Clark. So it'll be interesting to see who the captain goes to next from that end. But it's Gill continuing to bowl what should be his final delivery of the match. He's on his way to bowl to LaFon. And to this delivery, LaFon is getting a good tight delivery on around that off stump again and punching to the onside. So the close out over number 7 at the end of it. And at the end of Len Gill's spell, 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 15. The veterans in pursuit of a target of 114. They're 50 for 1. $50 for 1. As we continue this important encounter here, remember the winner goes straight through to next weekend's final. Well, the loser of this one will have to come back tomorrow and face the legends as Derwin Thompson brought into the attack. Yet again, he aborts his run. His arm is not coming over, but I don't think that should stop Derwin. Starts with a delivery outside the off stump. Johnson cuts, and this will go into the boundary again. As long as Brian Johnson is offered any sort of whiff, I can tell you he will capitalize on it. Another boundary to Johnson, another boundary through the offside as well. And Johnson quickly up to 29 and he scored up to 54 for 1. As Thompson. So the runs continue to leak from the Sovereign end. He's on his way into Johnson again, and Johnson is forward this time. Bottom part close together, plays this one back along the track on the onside as the man from short mid wicket comes in and does the fielding, and there is no run. That man being Giddens. There is a man at backward point, a short third man, a man on the cover point boundary, a man at extra cover, a widest extra cover, a man at long off, and Derwin Thompson seems to be in a bit of strife. Seems to be carrying some shoulder injuries. And it looks now like Thompson is not going to be able to continue his spell. A bit unfortunate here. So more problems, Philip, from the Sovereign end. Three overs for 35 runs, and then Thompson one delivery for a boundary. Then the second delivery was a tight delivery, and now he seems to be coming off. Can't finish his spell, so the captain will still have to find another option from the Sovereign end. And Thompson coming off the field. So we hope for his sake that he'll be okay. Probably going straight now to that massage parlor. Now will be a good time to mention the sponsors. He's going to go to Hebe's Beauty and Spa, Massage and Beauty Services, BJ's Auto Care, Jalan's Creations, Ricky's Driving School, Roto Plastics Barbados Limited, JD's Enterprises, Black and White Whiskey, The Last Stop Bar and Eatery, MJA Car Services, Terry's Food Truck, Kermit's Bar, top of Thornbury Hill. Keep in touch, Inc. for your packaging and automotive needs. Let's keep in touch. Located in the Webster Industrial Park, Premier World Cargo, Inc., Barbados National Oil Company Limited, and the Amas Port and Services. It looks like Derwin Thompson will be replaced by the substitute in Cedric Best, stalwart at the Maple Club. It's 54 for 1, and it looks now like they will go to Dave Estwick. So they've gone for another off spinner from the Sovereign end. Estwick, the third bowler used from this end. Starts with a short delivery, which is punch back to him, but he doesn't feel cleanly, and the batsman have enough time to complete an easy single. $54 for 1, went over number 8. The target is 114. So they require a further 60 runs. They've got a lot of time and a lot of overs in which to do so. As a delivery which is punched into the offside. And there is no run. 75 deliveries to get to 59 runs. A delivery outside the off stump, and there is the keeper again, grasps, seeing another opportunity. There was the batsman Lafon attempted to turn a delivery there. The edge found, and yet again Gregory Gaskin puts down what would be his second opportunity. 55 for 1, so not really doing his team any favors behind the stumps today, Gregory Gaskin, as Estwick goes a delivery. Batsman is punching back along the onside of the wicket, of the pitch, correction, and there is no run. And at the end of $54 for 1. Also, a bowling change at the northern end as well. A forced bowling change because Len Gill will have completed his allocation of 4 overs. He would have picked up a wicket and just conceded 15 runs. It looks like Paul Jones might coming into the attack with a lot of work to do for his side, getting some words of encouragement from Adrian Oy Braffett. If that's one of the things they can always tell you about Adrian Braffett, not one afraid to lend an encouraging word, not one short of an encouraging word. As Jones on his way into bowler delivery outside the off stump, giving a lot of room and spanked through the offside. And yet again, as long as you give Brian Johnson some room, I keep saying it all the time, he will capitalize on it. They score quickly up to 59. Johnson up to 34 from 25 deliveries. 5 fours and 1 6 so far in this innings of Brian Johnson. Ably supported by Jeffrey LaFawn. He's got 11 from 16 deliveries. Batted some 40 minutes already. He's also struck a boundary. No maximums to him. 59 for 1. The target is 114. The current run rate 7.08. The required run rate 4.71. So you can see that the veterans are clearly bossing this one. 59 for 1. Paul Jones will be looking to get a lot fuller and a lot straighter into Johnson. And this one is driven down the ground powerfully. And it goes right through Ken Mears. That was struck with some power. Ken Mears came around. He got down and it went straight through Ken Mears. That one was struck with a lot of authority. Brian Johnson quickly up to 38. And he's scoring now up to 63 for 1. 38 from 26 deliveries. Getting some insights from a couple of people to my right. Some are arguing that Ken Mears might believe that he should be into the attack. 63 for 1. The target is 114. The only way the Limers can get themselves back into this one is if they can get a couple of quick wickets. Wickets is usually the best way. In fact, some would say the only method to be employed to tame a fast scoring rate. You need to get some wickets. Current run rate 7.41. Into Johnson. Johnson good enough, shaping up for a big shot, and then you can see him adjusting and playing this one into the offside. Gets an easy single as he picks up his 39th run, and the veterans up to 64 for 1. But there you can see Johnson clearly was having some aggressive intent there, and the bowler being good enough to make him check his shot. But Johnson good enough also to be able to play into the vacant offside region and get an easy single. 64 for 1. Jones on his way into bowl to LaFawn. Was a full delivery this time. Driven into the offside, and there is no run as Captain Keith Seal does the fielding. 64 for 1. They require a further 50 runs. They've got all of 67 deliveries in which to do so. Can Paul Jones be a hero? Bowls a delivery which is driven down the ground, down to long on by LaFawn, and straight through the man at long on. It was Cedric Best, the substitute, not doing really good work at all. Cedric Best definitely not giving of his best to close out over number 9. And at the end of it, a boundary. The 50 partnership coming up as well. 43 deliveries, 33 minutes of batting, 8 fours and 1 6. 50 partnership between these two. Partnership worth now 53 runs. And at the end of over number 9, the veterans, large and in charge, really bossing this one. They're 68 for 1. Johnson on 39. He's had a quiet tournament by his standards. Getting a delivery outside the off stump. He goes back and punches it down to long on to pick up his 40th run and the 69th run of the inning. 69 for 1. There have been 5 extras already in the innings, made up of 5 wides. Bates, the man dismissed LBW to Lengill for 9. Jeffrey LaFawn, who's got 15, will come back in the strike. And the veterans, large and in charge with this one. A delivery Punch into the offside. There is no run as Estwick trying to find a wicket for his side. But not a lot of wicket taking options in the field. There's no one at slip, no one at gully. There's a man at short third, a man at backward point. Delivers to the all stump. Punch to that man at backward point, and there's no run. There's a man at short mid wicket. Captain Keith Seal is in rather tightly at that extra cover region. Really looking to put some pressure, really, at a wideish cover, some would argue. Captain Keith Seal, 69 for 1. As Estwick bows a delivery angled into the pass, turns sweetly by Lafon down to the backward square region, gone for 1, turns as blind as a bat at the non-striker's end, but he will come back for the second run. His 19th run and the 73rd run, I make it, of the innings. Correction, 71 for 1. Lafon up to 17, getting a bit ahead of myself. 71 for 1. 43 more runs required. Where can the Limers find a wicket? Estwick into Lafon. Lafon is turning the delivery into the onside, where the field at short mid wicket is at home. It looks like Giddins, and there is no run. Looking around the field, not a lot of options. Maybe might have to try switching one of the bowlers previously used from the southern end around to the northern end. See if that can help. But there's a delivery punch into the offside. Dave Clark comes around. And at the end of the 10-4, at the halfway stage, in pursuit of a target of 114, the veterans with Brian Johnson on 40, Jeffrey Lafon on 18, they are 72 for 1.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-21. Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-2109.
after the refreshment cart has made its way off the field. At the halfway stage, the veteran 72 for 1 as Paul Jones will continue. Bowling to LaFawn. Bowls a good delivery, which is bringing LaFawn forward. Then he tosses it to his captain, who's entrusted Jones with the responsibility of trying to drag his team back into this one. Jones' first over cost some 13 runs. Looking to make amends. He's on his way into bowl to Jeffrey LaFawn. LaFawn is getting a good delivery again. And this time Jones in his follow-through does really well. And yet again, there's no runs. 72 for 1. We're in the 11th over. Paul Jones trying to find a wicket for his captain, Keith Seal. He's on his way into bowl to LaFawn. And LaFawn says this one down to long on. Derwin Thompson, who's back on the field, does the fielding, but the batsman have enough time to complete 2 runs as Derwin Thompson had a lot of work to do coming around at long on. 2 comfortably taken. LaFawn up to 20, and the score up to 74. 74 for 1. We're in over number 11. It's being bowled by Paul Jones. Oh, the delivery should be tugged into the onside. This should run fairly close to the forward square boundary. In fact, it goes into the forward square boundary just about now. Takes the score up to 78. So another boundary to Jeffrey LaFawn. His third of the innings. He's quickly up to 24 from 27 deliveries. And the score racing along here for the veterans in pursuit of a target of 114. There's 78 for 1. Man at backward square. Man at deep forward square, cow corner, man at long on. The fielders on the leg side boundary as LaFawn is tugging this one down to the right of the man at long on, to the left of the man coming around from that deep forward square position, who sends his return up to the bowlers, and the batsman have enough time to complete 1 run. 79 for 1. So this over from Jones conceding 7 runs thus far. 1.5 overs, no maidens, none for 20. Still trying to get his first wicket of this encounter and the second wicket for his side. 79 for 1. The only way they can get themselves back into this one is if they can pick up a cluster of wickets. They require a further 35 runs. They've got all of 55 deliveries in which to do so. As Jones on his way to bowler David Johnson. He said this one high, hard. The fielder is coming around. And it will land right here in the commentary box. I can tell you a maximum to Brian Johnson. A big shot to close out over number 11. At the end of it, the veterans, they're 85 for 1. Johnson, he's got 46. And with him, Jeffrey LaFawn, who's got 25. Really large and in charge here. The veterans, 85 for 1. A consistent run getter. 85 for 1. Estek bowls a delivery the batsman across his stumps and turns it into the onside where he picks up his 26th run and the 86th run of the innings. Brings Johnson, who's closing in on a half century here. He's 46 from 29 deliveries. 45 minutes of batting. He's struck 6 fours and 2 sixes already. As a shower comes across the ground, a delivery turned into the onside for Johnson to pick up his 47th run And the 87th run of the innings as the spectators scamper into the safety and the shelter of the pavilion. A delivery again turned into the onside, this time a lot further behind square, and the batsman get an easy single as the man from mid-wicket has a lot of work to do. 88 for one in pursuit of a target of 114. The veterans, remember the winner of this one will go straight to next weekend's final, while the loser of this one still has a second chance at the Cherry. They will have to play the Legends tomorrow. As Estwick tosses the ball from hand to hand at the top of his mark. Delivery down the leg side, and that is going to be the half century for Brian Johnson as the umpire signals 4. So I can tell you Brian Johnson, 50 coming off 31 balls, 46 minutes of batting, 7 fours and 2 sixes as he goes up to 51 now, and he score quickly up to 92 for one in pursuit of this target of 114. We're in over number 12. Johnson getting this one off the outside portion of the bat down to the backward point region. Going for one. Will come back for the second run. Dave Clark is after it. Then he says return up to the keeper's end where Gregory Gaskin does the tidy end up behind the stumps. And the score now quickly up to 94 for one. One legal delivery remains in the 12th over of this one. The target is 114, so they require a further 20 runs as that shower that was with us just a few moments ago has subsided, and the spectators make their way back on the outside as a delivery which is hurrying the batsman Johnson. Lafon at the non-striker's end. And they will get another single. Some by-play between Estwick and Johnson. So the closeout over number 12, and at the end of it, in pursuit of a target of 114, barring some unforeseen miracle here, the veterans, large and in charge, at 95 for one. So, Victor Patrick comes into the attack. The 7th bowler being used by his captain. Interestingly, when you look at the overall stats of the tournament, Victor Patrick is up amongst the leading wicket takers. 34 wickets over the duration of the 5 years of the tournament. Those are there, which is bringing the batsman forward, and they've gone through for an easy single. 96 for one. Remember, the target is 114. 4 batsmen gotten into double figures for the Lamers team. A delivery steered down to the man at short, third man. Picks up another easy single. Is Lafon. He goes up to 27, and he score up to 28, and he score up to 97. 97 for one. Delivery from Patrick. Getting some respect from Jaron Johnson as he brings him onto the front foot. Plays it back along the track. The bowler in his follow through. Collects, and there is no run. Johnson coming across his stumps and attempting to turn delivery into the onside. You can see that one getting a bit of straightening there from Victor Patrick. 97 for one. So it's been a really good run chase so far. Patrick short outside the off stump, and yet again more whiff for Johnson. Johnson cuts through the offside, gets one. They were thinking about the sack of the run, but LaFawn not at all interested in it. And at the end of over number 13, in pursuit of a target of 114, I can tell you, the veterans team, Brian Johnson on 56, Jeffrey LaFawn on 28, they're 98 for one.
Any investment in education is a positive step in the development of our society. Call the Calvary Institute. We offer a wide range of vocational and technology courses. We offer personalized support to students at primary and secondary level. Call us at 426-2337 or WhatsApp 851-2109.
Plastics Barbados Limited, JD's Enterprises. As we pause, as Estwick starts his. Bowling again, a delivery turn into the onside, and yet again they get an easy single. 99. 99 for one. Delivery turn into the onside, sweetly behind square, gone for one. They will come back for the second run. I'm sure that Johnson definitely interested in the third. He will come back for it quite easily in the end as he return now on its way. And I can assure you that is the 100 being brought up as well for the veterans team. 100 coming up of 84 deliveries, 62 minutes of batting, 11 fours and 2 sixes. They are 101 for one in pursuit of this target of 100. And 14, a delivery outside the off stump, which is punched down too long off. To pick up the 103rd run of this run chase, 103 for one. When over number 14 is being bowled by Estwick. Flighty delivery down the track, and when he gets there, the Dock is driving into the onside. Can only get it as far as that man Giddings at that straightish mid-wicket region, and there is no run. More work for Ken Mears to do. They've gone for one. Doc will turn. LaFawn will come back for the second run. And he now up to 33, and he score up to 105. 105 for one. So just 9 runs away for victory at the end of over number 14 in pursuit of a target of 114 for victory. The veterans team, Brian Johnson on 58, Jeffrey LaFawn on 33. There are 105 for one. Like signal by the umpire into the onside. So 8 runs away from victory now. As they score up to 106. 106 for one. So really making light work of this 114. There's the batsman LaFawn attempting to dab or steer delivery down into that third man region. Ball goes through to be taken by the keeper, and there is no run. So now Patrick making some adjustments to the field, asking the man, albeit a bit too late. Some would imagine asking the man to come from short, third man to slip, bringing the man off the sweeper boundary inside the circle. Asking the man at backward point to come tighter and bringing the man a bit straighter at extra cover. Victor Patrick, former fast bowler, now bowling some off-spin delivery turn behind square. So after all of those field adjustments, he will give away a 2 on the leg side. He didn't bring anybody on the leg side. And I can tell you, the score now up to 108. And they require a further 6 runs. So walking this one home, the veteran side. 108 for 1 in pursuit of a target of 114. The batsman dismissed some long time ago. Ron Bates for 9. Delivery driven. Back down the track, there's a loud appeal for the batsman at the non-striker's end. Ball ricocheting off the hand of Victor Patrick, but umpire Orion still in perfect position to make his decision, clearly saying not out. Delivery played into the onside, where Adrian Braffett is at home, down on his hunches, and there is no run. 108 for 1. 6 runs required. Down the track, when he gets there, Lafon drives through the outside, going for 1. They should run fairly close to the boundary. They've gone for 2. Will they take about the third? Lafon turns and indicates he will come back for the third run. So good running by this pair. They've been doing so all afternoon, really. Another 3 taken by these two. A 3 is rarity in this over 50s tournament. But these two have so far run about 3 trees I can count so far. They are 111. I make it now 111 for 1 after 15 overs. So they require further 3 runs. Quickly, I can tell you, Ron Bates, the only batsman to be dismissed for 9. He was given out LBW off the bowling of Len Gill. And the veterans now 3 runs away from a place in next weekend's final. The Limers, they will only have a few hours tonight in which they can go back to that proverbial drawing board. You know the West Indies cricketers really like to go to that drawing board, Philip. They're going back to that drawing board tonight, and they will have to come back tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. for a virtual semi-final up against the Legend side, a team who barely got in over the line today in the Super Over. 111 for 1. They've turned to Dave Clark. 1 over before this for 15 runs, a really expensive over. Len Gill, 4 overs, no middles, 1 for 15. Winston Giddens, 2 overs, no middles, none for 20. Dave Clark, 1 over for 15 runs. Durbin Thompson, 2 balls for 4 runs. As the delivery from Clark is driven down to Long On, a wide Long On region. The man from Long On has a lot of work to do, but the batsmen have decided they will settle on 1 quite early in the piece. Takes his score up to 112, so 2 more required to close this one out. Dave Estick, 4 overs for 22 runs. Paul Jones, 2 overs, no middles, none for 26 as a wide is called by the umpire. So I can assure you now, the scores are level, and the veterans team, they require 1 more run to seal this one on a place in next weekend's final. So it's been a good chase by this pair, the pair of Johnson and Lafon. 113 for 1, partnership worth some 98 runs. Johnson into the offside and thought he was going to try to bring up the 100 partnership as well, but he's let common sense prevail. Punch and delivery through the offside, the vacant offside region, called through for a quick single by his partner, and the veterans home by 9 wickets in this one, getting up to 114 for 1, 15.3 overs. Johnson will finish unbeaten on 59, and Jeffrey Lafon will finish on 39. I can quickly run through the bowling figures for you. Len Gill, 4 overs, no middles, 1 for 15. Winston Giddens, 2 overs, no middles, none for 20. Dave Clark, 1.3 overs, no middles, none for 18. Durbin Thompson, just those 2 deliveries before he was pulled out of the attack with an injury. Conceded 4 runs. Dave Estick, 3.4 overs, no middles, none for 22. Paul Jones, 2 overs, no middles, none for 26. And Victor Patrick, 2 overs, no middles, none for 8. Doing the work for the Limers side, which was not enough to get them to keep them in this one. And the veterans team getting over the line for a place in next weekend's final. The veterans team, the first one to book their spot. I can tell you tomorrow afternoon, the Limers team will have to do it all again, and they will be up against the Legends. So before we close this one out, I would just like to make that man of the match presentation. So, after some private consultation, I won't call the name of the person I was in private consultation with, the man of the match adjudicating this one, it has been decided that Mr. Raymond Ogis, with his figures of 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 26, which really put the screws and a dent really in the batting lineup of the Limers. 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 26. Raymond Ogis will be adjudged the man of the match in this one, despite Brian Johnson's 59 well played to him and LaFawn 39 not out well played to them. But the eyes of the adjudicator, the man who really did the bulk of the work here, the damage really to set up this one, was Raymond Ogis. So we'll ask Mr. Morris to make that presentation to Mr. Raymond Ogis. 4 for 26. 4 overs, no maidens, 4 for 26. So we'll ask the chief cook and bottle washer, Mr. Anthony Morris, to make this presentation to Mr. Raymond Ogis. To close out this one, and he's booked his place in the final of next weekend's encounter. 4 for 26 top bowling figures to get his team over the line. So at the end of this one, I can tell you the veterans with a place in next weekend's final and the Limers with all to do tomorrow afternoon up against the Legends. So closing out on this one on the Flash Drive Media Network, Anything Cricket Let's Talk. Kurt Strong on behalf of my producer Philip Hackett and the rest of the production team saying a pleasant good evening and goodbye from the 4 Square Oval. Correction, BNOC Oval.